Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be another favourites video, so if you want to see something that I've been loving recently then keep watching. I'm fairly organised and getting loads of stuff done, and obviously the changes here, at least like where I live in England, the restrictions like lessening have done a lot to make me feel a bit more positive. So yeah, I'm in a good mood today, but you're not here to be like, you know, my therapist or anything like that, are you? You're here to see what my favourites are at the moment. So I've got a few, and I'm going to start with the one that is on my lap because it's really big and heavy and it's actually making me quite warm. So I'm going to show you that first and then we'll crack on with the rest. So I'm not even going to be able to get all of this in shot, but I don't know if you can see, this is a hood. And well, it's basically one of those, you know, those Oodies, there's a comfy, there's a cozy or something like that, snuggly, I don't know what they're called, there's loads of them. And they had a bit of an uprising, didn't they? I would say like in the first lockdown is when I started being like aware of them last year. And I would love one, and I have wanted one for a long time, but they are so expensive. Now, like I think the retail price normally is like £89, and they do tend to have offers on all the time, but the cheapest you seem to be able to get them is for like £59, which I guess if you were buying someone a gift or you really like to be warm, then it'd probably be a good investment piece, but I wasn't a fan. So I kind of like put it to bed and ignored it, and then I realised that when the restrictions eased, obviously you could see people, but it would only be outside, and typically in, you know, English fashion, the weather is pants. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's sunny today. It's like sunny but with a really like faint misty cloud, like you can't really see it but it's there, do you know what I mean? And even then, like the highest it's going to be in terms of temperature today is like 12 degrees, which is rubbish for this time of year, I think, anyway. I mean, it's definitely better than what we have been having, but the fact of the matter is that when you are outside at the moment, it's still quite nippy, especially if you're meeting in the evening, or maybe it's going to rain or snow as an example. And I thought, oh, maybe these will come really like in really handy, because another thing, I don't know about you, but when I'm wearing a coat and I'm all buckled up in a coat for ages and I'm sat down, I find it really restrictive. And like, you know, when you're in a coat and you're a bit like, oh, do you know what I mean? And I thought, right, I'm going to try and find a cheaper version, and I ended up finding this on Amazon, so I'll leave it linked down below. When I bought it, I think it cost me £20.99, and I read all the reviews, which is something I would definitely recommend you do, and I went for the charcoal grey. Not normally like my colour of choice because I'm not really into grey that much, but this was the one that had like the best reviews out of all the colour options, because some of the different colours were like not as decent quality. But anyway, I love it. I think it's really good value, and it's not going to rob you of a lot of pennies like some of the proper, you know, own brand ones are. So what shall I get into next? While I'm on stuff like that you put on your body, I will go into like beauty and skincare. So you might have seen this doing the rounds. This is the L'Oreal Elvive Dream Length 8-second Wonder Water. It's a lamella conditioner for long hair transformation, up to 10 times smoother, shinier hair, no way down for long damaged hair. And you basically, it is water. I don't know, can you see? Okay, it's like slightly see-through from where I am, but you probably won't be able to see it. It's liquid, it's a water. Like when I put it in my hand on the shower the first time I used it, I was like, oh, okay, does this right? And applying it can be tricky because obviously your hair's already wet, so you put it into wet hair. What I tend to do is like I'll wash my hair with shampoo, and I would actually put my normal conditioner on as well anyway, and then I like sluice it out, if you know what I mean, like wring it out so it's not soaked, and then I will put some of this in my palm a little bit at a time and like run it through my hair. Now it does say don't let it get into contact with your eyes, and what I found is that when I put it in my palm, it did feel like it was warm. I don't know why or if that's normal, but that's my experience. But it honestly is brilliant. It doesn't have silicone in, which you would kind of expect it to for the feel that it gives. And it's really, really effective. Like I washed my hair last night and dried it with the hairdryer, and even though I've used that a few times now, I was still like, my hair's so soft. My hair is so soft. And I'm not gonna get my hair cut anytime soon. Jen, my friend who does my hair, she's doing my wedding hair as well actually, she has been like hounded, and I'm very, very fortunate that I don't have roots because I have balayage, and I don't have any greys, like touch wood yet. So I was like, do other people first and then get to me. Sometimes I regret that now, because one thing I want to do is that I feel like, I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like my hair's gone quite ashy and I want it warming up a bit, and I think I'm going to get rid of my, I can't remember what these bits are called, but you know, like the face framers, because I don't actually think that blondie bits suit me as well as like having darker hair does. I'm going off on a tangent, you don't care. This is what you care about. But yeah, it's really, really good. So if you do have hair that like feels quite dry at the moment, you're waiting for an appointment, you've not got money for the appointment right now, and it feels like a bit knotty like mine. I've got really fine hair and a lot of it, but it just gets really messy really easily. Like me and Daisy the same, when we wake up in the morning we look like we've been dragged through our hair backwards, like it's terrible. So I would definitely recommend giving it a go. I got it and it was half price at Boots, so it might be worthwhile checking to see if it's still on offer there as well. But I really would recommend that. Like surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. And then the next beauty item is this, purely because it smells so good. Like when I fake tan, I've mentioned fake tan before, I'm using the Saint-Tropez watermelon one and the face spray. The spray, I bought another one recently because I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. But before I do my fake tan, I get in the shower, I scrub with like, you know, like an exfoliating sponge, you know, the ones that have the scratchy sides. Scrub everywhere, get any dead skin off, do all that. Then I get out of the shower, and what I've taken to do recently is moisturising my whole body before I tan. Just because I feel like my skin is happier when I do that, and like it kind of keeps my skin like less dry, do you know what I mean? And this is called Soap and Chlorine No Woman No Dry, and it's scented with Call of Fruity, which is meant to be fruity and exotic. As you can see, I've used quite a lot of it. Can you see? Probably can't, I don't know. But it smells amazing, and it's not super greasy either. Like when I put it on my body, it sinks in quite nicely. It definitely does the job, but it doesn't make me feel like slimy afterwards, if you know what I mean. So I can really recommend that. I always feel like when I do these videos, I just start going like, I don't know why. Is it nerves? Do we know? I'm not sure. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is quite unusual. I feel like if you are into skincare, you'll probably have already heard of this, but it's basically a technique, and it's called gua sha. And you might have seen like the jade rollers that people use to like massage like oils and serums into their faces. I've had one of them for a while. Don't particularly rate it, to be honest, because I feel like it just takes ages, and I feel like I'm steamrolling my face, and I'm just there like, okay. And then all it really does for me personally is just like my roller gets all oily, and I'm not the biggest fan. I know some people love it, but I just don't. But I actually bought the set ages ago, and this came in it as well. And this is a gua sha tool, and it's basically, I want to do this justice, so I'm going to read up on a proper like explanation. So the concept behind this is that it's basically like an East Asian, like a Chinese facial treatment, if you will, and it's designed to help with tension in your, you can do it on your body as well, but I'm talking specifically about facial gua sha. And it's designed to help like relieve tension. So if you get a lot of headaches, I get a lot of tension around my eyebrows and my eyes a lot of the time. It's meant to help with that, but it's also great for lymphatic drainage as well. And the idea is that you use it on parts of your face. You need to cleanse your face firstly. So take all your makeup off, cleanse it as you normally would, and then when it's all cleansed, either apply like a decent moisturizer that's going to give you plenty of like, you know, like lubricant to your face, or like a facial oil, and then you start the process. And the technique, you normally start on your neck and you bring it up and you repeat the stroke several times throughout your neck, and it's basically to get rid of any like water retention, things like that. And then around the points of the face where there's bone is where your lymph nodes will be, and that's where you can encourage any excess water buildup to drain, like so lymphatic drainage basically. I've been using it for, I would say, a couple of weeks, not religiously the first week, but definitely in the last week I've tried to do it every night. It doesn't really take that long, it'll probably take about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm quite into my skincare anyway because I'm that kind of person that if I don't look after my skin, I will have breakouts, and that's just the way it is, so I have to put the effort in. And I have noticed the difference. Now, for anyone that's like been a follower for a while, you'll know that I was born with a syndrome, and part of that included something called Pierre-Robin sequence, which means that I have a slightly smaller chin and lower jaw than what most typical people would have. It was very, very small when I was born. In fact, you could hardly see my chin line here, but if you see here when I turn to the side, it's very, very shallow, and like right here, that's where I swallow. Like I can feel all of my like my esophagus and everything, and it's very, very short, and sometimes it can lead me to be quite self-conscious because when I gain weight in particular, it makes my face look more bloated than it is, and I can feel it, like there's not like loads of fat there, but I do feel like I cling on to water quite a lot, and I wanted to see if it would help like define my chin a bit more, and I honestly feel like it is working. And I mean, maybe you can tell, but I definitely can. You know, when you just know your face and your shape, and I feel like I've got more of this back, and oh, I'm gonna knock my phone over, and like the angles of my chin back. And obviously I've been working out and like watching what I eat and stuff, but I hadn't really noticed that much change in my face yet, but I feel like it is working, and I would definitely recommend that you do some proper research into it, because it's not like, as you see a lot of people doing it like on TikTok and Instagram, and these people who've maybe done their own research but are adding their own spin to it. And this is a technique that people that have been using in East Asia for like years, and you want to do it properly and you want to do it justice. So if you are going to look into it, I'll leave a few links to videos that I did below, and then you can go from there. But I just thought I would mention it. I'm not an expert, and I don't feel comfortable showing the technique because I'm still learning myself, but I will definitely leave some links down below if you want to find out more. But I think it's a fab little tool, and I am noticing a difference, which is good. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this, and if you've seen like bright orange drinks on Instagram then, or anywhere like in pubs and stuff, it's Aperol, and typically you make an Aperol Spritz. So it tells you on the back, so if you've never had it before, go for it, give it a go, give it a try, see what you think, because I love it. And it's basically, I can hear a helicopter. Should we keep filming? If you hear a helicopter, I'm sorry, but like, they exist, or a plane or something like that. That was really noisy. Anyway, it's basically 1 part Aperol to 1 part Prosecco, and then you serve it with ice and a slice of orange, and then also top it up with soda water. That's how I do it. Some people top it up with lemonade. I feel like that's too sweet, but soda water is the typical way of making it. The first time I had it was in Venice, back before we even had Daisy, so Bill must have been 2, and he was away with his dad on a little mini holiday, and Mark and I actually ended up going to a last minute trip to Venice. It was amazing, and that's the first time I had it years and years and years ago, because I remember asking the waiter like, what shall I have, and he recommended an Aperol Spritz, and I was just hooked after that. I absolutely love them. If you like bitter drinks, then I think that you'll really like this one. Like if you like gin, I feel like you'll like Aperol. It's got a bit of an orangey taste to it and a smell to it, but it's beautiful. And when it's warm and it's the summertime, Mark and I will have these a lot, and they're just yummy. They're so nice, and they just take us back to being in Italy, because when we got engaged as well, this is basically what I drank most of the time. So yeah, that is amazing. So if you've never tried them before, or give them a go, because you might like them. Hopefully you do. Anyway, so next thing that I want to talk about are householdy bits, and the first thing is that if you've been on my Instagram at any like time, you've probably seen this mug loads in my stories, because I picked this up from Sainsbury's. I've also seen it online in Argos, because Sainsbury's are stocked in Argos as well, so maybe it'll still be in stock, I don't know. It was quite an Easter one though, but it has a little chick. Can you see him? And then it's scalloped here, and then has little like yellow paint splodges in the middle. It's the cutest mug, and every time I use it, it makes me happy. Plus it's a really decent size, so you can get like a big coffee in there. But I absolutely love that, and it's made me smile so much, and every time I pick it up in the morning it's just made me grin, so I had to mention him. And then the next few things, I will start with these. I've mentioned these before. If you know me, you know that I love scents. I'm obsessed with nice smells, and candles and like wax melts are a bit of me. I buy them everywhere I go. So like if I go to B&M, I'll buy some candles. If I go to Home Sense or whatever, I'll buy some candles. If I go to Home Bargains, I'll buy candles. And I have like wax melts that I buy from 2 brands in particular that I really like. They're small businesses. Like I love a Yankee candle. I love the nice smells. But I love Cheshire melts, I think that's what they're called, and I bought from them a lot. But then recently a lady that followed me reached out when she was starting her business and said, could she send me some bits? So like in exchange for a review basically, and I gave her a shout out on Instagram. She sent me a few things, but since then I have been absolutely addicted to a particular scent I have to keep buying from her, and it's this one. It's Pink Sands. I don't know particularly what it smells like, but if you ever do buy it and try it, it's what my house smells like now. It's kind of like, I mean, they've got it on in the corner. Can you see there? That's my wax burner and it's on in there. It's a bit citrusy. It's a bit, it's just beautiful. I can't describe it, but she does these little bars, and they're basically like chocolate bars almost, and you snap off a piece every time to use it. And I cannot get enough of this smell. This is what my house smells like. If I would allow people in my house, you would be able to smell it. But it's amazing, and I just had to mention it again because honestly, when I'm running low, I'm like, I need to go and make another order because I'm that obsessed. It's so good. Speaking of smells, the next thing, I wanted to try this for so long and I've never been able to find it anywhere until recently, and it was actually in Waitrose. So if you have a Waitrose near to you, they had it on offer for an introductory offer, sorry. So it was £3. I've got a feeling that it's actually quite expensive and something like £6 a bottle, but it is this. I have the yellow one as well, but I started with this one, and this is the Lenore Outdoorable As If Dried Outside Spring Awakening 60 washes. It's ultra concentrated, and the bottle is made out of 100% recycled plastic, and you've got different options, so you can have like a normal amount, a standard amount, and an extra fresh. So 60 washes will obviously depend on how many times you use it and to what concentration, but I have to say I noticed a difference when I was showing you my Oodie dupe before. I've washed it with this and I could smell it all over it, like I could really smell it, and I've really been enjoying it. It's nice, it is nice, and what's even better is that I actually dry it out on the line as well, so it's like super concentrated then. But it says on the back, why not try it with the Dream Team, which is with these. So this is the all-in-one bold Spring Awakening pods with built-in Lenore softener as well. The only thing I don't like about this is that the child lock system on the box is that good that sometimes I can't even get in it. Honest to God. You close it and then it says you've got to push it in and pull it up at the same time. Ow. But I always end up pinching my finger, and yeah, it's very effective though, but we keep all of our stuff in a high cupboard that the kids can't reach anyway. But as they go together, I thought I would try them together because then it would definitely smell like really strong, and they do. I don't think I will buy it all the time because £6 a pop is quite expensive if that's the full retail price. However, if I ever see it on offer again, I would definitely buy it because I've really been enjoying it and it does smell incredible. So that is those. I have 2 more physical things to show you, and then the rest are like, you know, stuff I listen to. My dog is talking to next door neighbour's dog outside, so if you can hear him doing doggy sounds, that's what he's doing, by the way. But the first thing actually is linked to him is a dookie. My friend Hayley, who I will leave linked down below, she shared this on Instagram, and I had a look at it and I thought, what a genius idea. And basically it's a poop bag holder clip thing. So it's got one of these clippy bits, and basically you knot the poo bag, stick it through the hole, and then pull it through this bit, and it like holds, I would say it would hold a good like 4 poos. Not that my dog has ever done 4 poos on a walk, but I go on fairly decent length walks with Merlin, and depending on when he decides to drop the load, sometimes I'm swinging a poo bag around, which is not that nice, and especially if I'm with the kids, it means I've got another hand that I can't use, and I'm holding the dog anyway. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. And obviously you can clip it onto whatever you want, so your bag, your coat, or whatever. But what I've taken to doing, I don't know if it's me, but it is his poo, so he can carry it. He wears a harness, and there's a bit where I can clip this to him, so he can look after his poo, and I don't have to smell it, and he's not bothered by it, which is just fantastic. And then when you see a bit, and you just easily, quickly take it off and away. It's really, really light. Like, there's loads of different colours. I've got the wood effect one, which I wouldn't go as far as to say actually looks like wood at all. It's just a beige coloured one. But it's a really clever little gadget. So I'm glad I got that. I will leave it linked down below if you're curious. It wasn't very expensive either. I feel like it was about a few quid maybe. So that was that. And then the final physical thing that I've got to talk about is this book. Now, I love reading generally. Like, I will get through quite a lot of books in a year. However, I have really, really struggled in the past few months, excuse my washing machine going off, to concentrate. And I'm wondering if that is just the effects of lockdown. I feel like myself, like I can feel myself zoning out, and I'm getting distracted, and I get a bit anxious. And when I am anxious, I find it very, very, very difficult to concentrate on anything. And generally speaking, I just find myself like flicking through TikTok, or like walking around the house and looking for something to do. I've really been forcing myself to sit down and read, and I haven't even finished this book yet. But it's the only thing that's kind of distracted me. Like, I've tried reading so many of them, and this is the only one, because of the, you know, the nature of the topic, and it's light-hearted and stuff. It's the only thing that I can kind of get into enough to zone out, and because they're not living during a pandemic as well, it's quite nice to just be able to remember real life for a bit and read about somebody else's adventures or issues or problems or what they're up to. So this is, I'll read the blurb. It's called A Springtime Affair by Katie Ford. I've read a lot of her books, in fairness, and I do like them. Jilly runs her own B&B business from her much-loved family home, which she doesn't want to part with at any price. But then she meets handsome estate agent Leo, and soon she begins to wonder whether selling up might not be such a bad idea after all. Really selling this, aren't I? Meanwhile, her daughter Helena, a talented weaver, has become close to her new landlord, who's offered to help her during an upcoming craft fair. It's what friends do, but are they just friends? They are, aren't they? With spring in full bloom, Helena and Jilly begin to ask themselves the same question. Is this the real thing, or just a springtime affair? I'm enjoying it anyway. I'm really enjoying it, actually. So I thought I'd recommend that if you want something that's just escapism that you can switch off with. And then finally, one thing that I want to talk about that is really, really yummy, and I can't show you because I would have to go to Starbucks to get it, is the basically Kinder Bueno Frappuccino, but it's not called that. You can't go up and ask for it. So I'm going to tell you what to order if you're into it. So you ask for a white mocha Frappuccino. I get it with semi-skimmed milk, and I get it with coffee. You can have it without coffee. So if caffeine doesn't agree with you, or you don't like the taste, and just they'll say, do you want coffee in it, and you say yes or no. And then you ask for a pump of hazelnut, and it is just amazing. It's really nice. It's really, really good. And I've had it a few times, and they're addictive. I'm preferring Starbucks at the moment to Costa. Sometimes I go to Costa and I get a bit bored because they never have anything like different, or when they do have it, it's just something that I don't like. Like, they've got a ruby chocolate frappuccino type thing, and that's not me at all. But I do like that one though, so I thought I'd mention that. Oh, I've got a pen, like I'm honestly ticking off everything that I've written down to share. Next few things is BBC Radio 2 on my Google Home is just life. I think this might mean that I am old now, but I'm okay with that. I particularly love Elaine Page. She's on Sundays between, I think it's something like 2 and 4, but you can also catch up with the app. There's like an app that BBC Radio 2 do, or BBC does, where you can like cast shows that you might have missed and listen to them again. But she plays like loads of musicals and stuff from the movies and stuff, and I love it on a Sunday. Normally when I'm like making dinner and stuff, I'll have that on with a glass of wine, and it makes me so happy at the moment, so I have to mention that. And then the final thing is Naked Attraction. So obviously I mentioned this in a vlog recently. If you're watching this with kids, I won't go into what it includes. Obviously you could Google that, but Naked Attraction, like read into those words, it's basically like a dating show, but instead of meeting each other face to face, you start with someone's nether regions, and there's like a screen that goes up every time, and the person like gets rid of someone every time until they're left with like making a final decision, and then they have to come out in all their naked glory. And it's one of those where I get the giggles and Mark gets the giggle. We just find it really like funny to watch, and then it's just also like really bizarre at the same time, and you get to learn that like everybody comes in different shapes and sizes, and it's just really funny. Like we'll normally record it and then save it to watch on like a Friday or Saturday night with like a drink or something, and it just makes us entertained. First heard about it, I think it was through Gogglebox, and then we've gone from there, but it's so funny. But yeah, that is the end of this favourites video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I feel like it was a long one, so I'm gonna have to cut out so much of me rabbiting on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go and film a few more videos now, and then I've got to go and pick up some birthday balloons for my little girl, because she is 5 on Wednesday, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna go, so thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll hopefully see you all very, very soon.